Hey everybody, it's Miss Abushban here. I am going to teach you a choreographed Dabka dance. Dabka is Arabic for stomping with your feet, and this is a Middle Eastern dance specifically in Palestine, Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Iraq, and probably surrounding areas, but the moves change a little bit. The style that I do is Palestinian Dabka. So I will teach you a set of maybe 8 moves for the choreography. Now throughout, it's really hard to break this down into a short video, so I recommend that you pause the video and go through it slowly so that I'm dancing in slow motion, and that'll be quite easy, but I will explain each move as I go. Alrighty, here goes nothing. So the first move I like to call the 1.5. It's called Wahda Nus in Arabic, and I'll show you how the move looks facing you and then on each side. Each move of this dance, you're going to start with your right leg. Okay, with your right leg. So for the Wahda Nus, you are going to kick out your right, and while you're kicking, you're hopping. So it looks like this. Okay, so it looks like this. Okay, so a high kick, not a low kick, a high kick with a hop. Okay, after the kick, you are going to naturally want to put your leg back down. So you're going to go kick, and you're going to bring your right leg down, and while it's going down, you're lifting your left leg up. Okay, so kick, and then you're going to put your left down. Okay, so quickly, it would look like this. Okay, that's called the 1.5, and that is the first move. I'll go through all the moves in the dance first, and then I'll tell you the counts, and I'll tell you how many of each move you're going to do for the dance. So the second move after the 1.5 is going to be a 5-step. Okay, I call it a 5-step because that's what makes sense in my head. Translating the names of the actual steps would be quite difficult, so I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm just going to make up names as I go. So I call this one the 5-step. Now the 5-step is you're doing heel touches. Okay, so I'll show it to you quickly and then I'll break it down. So it's going to look like this. Okay. So this is a 4 count. So it goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, and 4. So and 4, you are stomping with your left leg. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, that is the 5-step. And notice with the Dabka, you don't really do anything with your upper body. It's all lower body. Okay, really good cardiovascular exercise. If you want to get your cardio on, I recommend doing Dabka. Also, it's quite hard on your shins and your heels, so just be mindful of that. Make sure you're wearing good shoes for this. Okay, so the third move we are going to do, I call it high knees. Okay, high knees. And again, you want to start with your right. So you want your right knee to go up first. To do that, you have to do a small step with your left, right, right up. Okay, and then you switch left. So right, left, left up, left, right, right up. Okay, so you want to start with your right. So you want to go left, right, right. So what that looks like is 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that would be 2. Okay, so every time your knee comes up, that's 1. So 1 and 2. Okay, 3 and 4. All right. The fourth move we're going to do, this one I always struggle naming it. We're going to name it the can-can. Okay, we're going to name it the can-can. And again, we're going to start with the right. Okay, so with your right leg, what you're going to do is you're going to shoot it out and across. Okay, now you don't want to turn your whole body like this. You just want to cross your leg. Okay, so 1, switch, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 2 slow and 3 fast. So it looks like this fast. 1, 2. Okay. So we've now learned the first 4 moves. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the 4 moves together. Why? Because transitioning in Dabka is quite difficult because there's no time to switch between the moves. You have to switch between them immediately. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And again, it'll be hard for me to do those transitions super slowly. So if you can pause and then go through it slow motion, that would be super helpful for you. For right now, I'm going to do each move once. For the dance later on, you are going to do each move more than once. This is how it's going to look. But instead of doing 1.5 5-step high knee can, we're going to switch high knee and can. So it's going to go 1.5 5-step can, high knees. This is how it's going to look. 1.5 5-step can, high knees. All right, to the side. 1.5 5-step. All right, so the reason why I did that is for you to pause and move through the transitions between the moves in slow motion to gain a better understanding of how to transition between the moves. Now, we'll move on to the next move. The next move is a combination of moves that we've already done. So, this goes with the music. I'll introduce you to the music in a bit when we do the actual dance with the counts. Now, the moves, the new move, pardon me, you are going to do a 1.5, but you're going to travel doing it. What I mean by that is instead of doing it in place, you're going to move forward. Okay, So instead of doing it in place like this, you're going to move forward. To do that, instead of hopping up, you're going to hop forward. So instead of doing this, you're doing this. This move looks like this. 1.5. So 1.5 first. So same thing, except you're moving forward. The 1.5, you kick, stomp, stomp. We're gonna do the same exact thing, except we're gonna kick forward, stomp, stomp. Okay, one more time. Kick, stomp, stomp. Your right leg is going to end up. You are then going to take 3 steps back. So 1, 2, 3. Let's do those 2 again. So kick, stomp, stomp. 1, 2, 3. Kick, stomp, stomp. 1, 2, 3. Now, after you're back, you're gonna go stomp, stomp. 1, 2, 3. You're going to have your left leg up. You are going to jump onto the leg, whoa, and then jump on to the other leg. Again, so far we have the 1.5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Again, 1.5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. At that pace. So I'm doing all the moves at the pace that they'll be done to the music. It goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. After you go 1, 2, you are going to turn to the right and stomp with both feet. 1. Okay, so 1, 2, 1. Together then, it looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 2. Immediately after you jump to this side, you are going to jump center, jump left side. It's gonna go like this. Again. All right, so that is the combo move that we do after the high knees. So you're gonna go from your high knees because you're doing 4. And then we're going to go straight into the kick. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. After you're here, you're going to end it just like you started it, except you're going to end it in place. You're going to end it with a 1.5 in place. And that is the end of the combination. So it goes from 1.5 traveling, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. So we've gone over 5 moves so far. We've gone over the 1.5, the 5-step, the can-can, the high knees, and the combo. In that order. That's how we're going to dance them, in that order. Now, after the combo comes squats. These squats are very similar to the squats you see in Russian dancing. For example, in the Rasputin dance, they do these squats. They are not fun. Well, they are fun once you know how to do them and once you're not panting anymore and once your shins don't hurt anymore. So the squat, I like to do them 4 times. What I mean by that is every time you go down, that's 1. The squat and the dabka, there are variations. The variations we're going to use for this dance are going down, coming up and to the side, going down, coming up into the side, so that's 2 so far, going down, coming up into a straddle, and you're going to do that twice. Quickly, it's going to look like this then. Okay, now please be careful when you're doing this. If you don't want to have this in the dance, don't have it in the dance. That's fine. I'm showing you these moves separately as well as in the dance, because if you choose to maybe, perhaps, choreograph your own dance, you can do that too. Now, these aren't the only moves that we do in Dabka, but these are pretty common ones. All right, so the squat, that's how it's gonna look. Again, slow it down. Watch me do it in slow motion. I can't do a squat in slow motion myself, because that's difficult. Now, the next move, so the squat is move number 6. We have 3 more moves to go. The next one is called the death move. I named this one myself. Why? Not because it's that difficult, but because one of this move is quite long and it's quite tiring. So it's also the hardest one to teach, in my opinion. For this move, it's gonna look like this sped up, or at the pace that they do it, that will do it for this song. So I just did 2 strung together. One of them will look like this. If I'm going to count this move, I would go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, 7 and 8. So it is an 8 count, where we're filling in a ton of gaps in this move. For this move specifically, I want you to slow it down. Doing this move slowly is nearly impossible, but make sure when you're doing this move, the first thing you're doing is you're jumping to the right, kind of like we did before for the combo. You're going like this, and to bring yourself back, you're swinging your right leg out and around. So you're going 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so for this move specifically, slow it down, see how it's done. It's one of those moves that I really like because it looks harder than it is, and moves that look hard look pretty cool to the audience. So it's not an extremely hard move, but it looks extremely hard, making it the best move ever. The next move we are going to learn is the Steppity Step. This one is easy. We're gonna do the Steppity Step, and then the last one is the Steppity Step. Again, you can tell that I named these myself. The Steppity Step, again, you're starting with your right. You're always starting with your right. You're gonna cross over 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, sped up, it's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. The pace of the song, you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna do some together. That's what it looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, to complete the Steppity Step, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're going to stomp twice with your right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, stomp, stomp, 1, 2, 3, 4, stomp, stomp. Okay, slow that down, see how it's done exactly. The Steppity Step, is the Steppity Step without the 2 stomps. So I call it the Steppity Step because it's quicker, and it's what I did before I introduced the 2 stomps. So this is the Steppity Step. Okay? The Steppity Step, the one I just did, that would count as 3 moves. So I did it 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. So only after I'm done the 3 would I do the 2 stomps. I wouldn't just end it like this, because that doesn't look very good. Make sense? So we have now gone over every single one of the moves I used to choreograph the dance. The dance is danced to the song Yalla, Y-A-L-L-A, by Matari, Z-A-C-K M-A-T-A-R-I, Matari. And the choreography starts at minute 2:19 to the end of the song. All right, so for the dance, I'm going to give you how many of each move we are going to do. For the 1.5, we're going to do 4 1.5s. What that looks like is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. So 4 1.5s are an 8 count. So we're going to do an 8 count of the first move. The second move is the 5-step, and we're going to do 2. 2 would look like this. 1, 2. Again, that's another 8 count. So if I were to count it, it'd be 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. The third move we're doing is the can, and we are going to do 2. Starting with your right, 1, 2. Again, another 8 count. This is how I would count it. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8. The fourth move we're going to do is the high knees, also an 8 count. And we are going to do it 4 times, starting with your right. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. So you should end on your left. The next move then is the combo, and we're going to do it twice, so it should look like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7. So if you were to actually count that, it would be a 12 count, so 3 counts of 4. So that was 1. So we're going to do, it's going to end up being a 24 count. Okay, so a 24 count. So 6 counts of 4. The next move we are doing is the squats, and we're going to do 4 total, an 8 count as well. The first 2 are going to be side and side. The last 2 are going to be straddles. So it's going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. That's all the squats we're doing. We are then moving into the death move, and we're going to do 3 of those. That would look like this. Slow this part down. I really want you to try to get this part. That was 3 of the death move. The next move we are going to do is the Steppity Step, and we are going to do it twice. count it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1 and 2 and so on. 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, so it's also an 8 count because we're doing 2 of those. Finally, the last move is a step, steppity step, and we're going to do it 3 times. That is an 8 count. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Good? Now for the dance. I'm now going to show you all the moves together with the counts to the music. Yalla by Matari. I like to start it at about minute 2:08. However, the dance starts at 2:19. I will count down 5, 6, 7, 8. So you know exactly where to start in the song. Five, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. Squats. Death move. Steppity step. That's the end of the dance. For the combo move, I messed up the first one because of the space I'm in, but I did the second one perfectly. So just pause and then do it in slow-mo. That's the Dabka dance. See ya.